In the new teaser, we see the Xavier Mansion completely destroyed. Clear signs that an attack took place there, with broken objects and the school left in ruins. This suggests that something terrible happened before the main scene of the trailer. The preview begins with the Xavier Mansion in silence and devastated, including Professor X's wheelchair in plain sight. Then we get an emblematic moment, Professor X and Magneto playing chess, a classic reference to the relationship between the two in the comics and films. This chess match is symbolic because Xavier and Magneto have always had different philosophies about the future of mutants, Xavier being more pacifist and Magneto more radical. And in the trailer, this is being used to show that the two may now be on the same side, at least momentarily. And then comes the part fans talked about the most. Cyclops appears on screen wearing his classic blue and yellow look, faithful to the comics. He kneels down, removes his visor, and unleashes a powerful optic blast in an intense, emotionally charged moment. Behind him, fans noticed what appear to be the gigantic legs of a sentinel, the iconic mutant-hunting robots, suggesting that this may be the cause of the Xavier Mansion's destruction in the teaser. This return of the classic X-Men to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, includes Patrick Stewart as Professor X, Ian McKellen as Magneto, and James Marsden reprising Cyclops, something that has the community extremely excited. The teaser ends with the title, "The X-Men will return in Avengers, Doomsday." Quick facts based on what is officially known so far. The teaser is part of the promotional campaign for Avengers, Doomsday, set to hit theaters on December 18, 2026. In addition to the X-Men, the film will feature other major Avengers and MCU characters. The presence of Sentinels indicates that mutants will face classic dangers from the comics. He is the kind of character many compare to the Batman of the X-Men, not because he officially fought Batman and proved his superiority, but because both are strategic, methodical leaders who are extremely prepared in crisis situations. In the comics, this comparison has already been explored in articles and analyses, highlighting Cyclops' ability to lead and plan at levels reminiscent of The Dark Knight, without claiming that he officially defeated Batman in a classic story. Cyclops, Scott Summers, has been the classic leader of the X-Men since his debut in Uncanny X-Men #1 in 1963, and for many years he was the team's main commander due to his discipline and strategic mindset. The story of a direct confrontation with Batman takes place during a season of the Marvel and DC crossover miniseries, but the result is neither simple nor definitive in DC Versus. Marvel/Marvel versus DC, Cyclops is one of the few X-Men who manages to land a hit on Batman in combat, leaving the hero momentarily stunned. But that does not mean he defeated Batman permanently. Crossovers rarely have lasting editorial impact and depend on the narrative of each event. In the comics, Cyclops is more recognized for his leadership and tactics than for being the most physically powerful. And that is why many fans see him as the Batman of his universe, since both lead entire teams and constantly plan responses to the greatest possible threats. The rivalry between Cyclops and Wolverine is also classic in the comics, with periods in which Logan questioned the leader's decisions and others in which he acknowledged his importance, very different from the simplistic treatment many films gave to their relationship. Another very cool point in the teaser is seeing Cyclops, Scott Summers, use his power without the visor. That moment when he removes the visor and unleashes a powerful optic blast, one of the biggest visual climaxes of the preview. In the trailer, he appears without the visor, emotionally unbalanced, and fires an explosive beam of energy while kneeling amid the ruins of the Xavier Mansion. This look is also classic from the comics, and the uniform he wears in the teaser is far more faithful to the source material than in previous film versions, specifically with the blue and yellow colors, evoking the aesthetic of X-Men '97, which has also recently returned to the spotlight. In the original comic book lore, Cyclops' eyes fire extremely powerful kinetic energy blasts that he cannot control without his ruby quartz visor. The visor exists to contain and direct this power, because without it, the energy is basically untamable and explosive, an unrestricted attack capable of destroying whatever stands in front of him. In the teaser, this visorless explosion scene is used as a dramatic moment that shows just how emotionally shaken Scott is. And it also suggests that he is focusing everything he has without calculations, without restraint, which fits perfectly with the idea of him giving it his all in a moment of desperation. Behind him, fans noticed what appears to be a giant sentinel, one of the classic robots designed to hunt mutants, which indicates that the X-Men may be facing an army of sentinels or a massive mechanical threat in the film. Regarding the film's script, contrary to old rumors that Kang would be the main focus and that the Kang Dynasty storyline would be adapted, the official teaser shows that the main villain in Avengers, Doomsday, is Doctor Doom, replacing Kang as the central antagonist of the movie. Doctor Doom is known in the comics for being an incredibly strategic and technological villain, far beyond a character who simply punches heroes. He uses technology, magic, and intelligence to plan his actions, which makes sense if the plot involves things like sentinels or technological manipulation, elements that are typical of X-Men-related conflicts. Therefore, it is possible that the use of sentinels in the teaser is tied to Doom's strategy in the film, and not just a random attack, something that fits perfectly with his profile as a villain who plans and manipulates situations on a massive scale. He is a villain who manipulates everyone all the time. He plays characters against each other, creates scenarios of war and chaos to prepare himself and steal power. That is the core of the character. He does not win through brute force. He wins because he is always 10 steps ahead. And if this guy decides to go to war against the X-Men, it is obvious that he will use Sentinels. They are the perfect weapon, technology, state oppression, and mutant genocide in machine form. And if that happens, it will be more than enough trouble even for the X-Men at their peak. Now, to wrap things up, I need to talk about Magneto's line, because it hits incredibly hard. Death comes for all of us. The question is not whether you are prepared to die. The question is, who will you be when you close your eyes? That line says everything about Magneto. He has never been afraid of death. His real fear has always been dying without leaving a legacy. Everything he does, right or wrong, is done with the future of the mutant race in mind, with what will be left for the next generations. And that line really sounds like a farewell. Yes, this could indicate that the film is preparing a sacrifice. Maybe Magneto staying behind to ensure other mutants can escape the Xavier Mansion. Maybe a final epic battle where he almost wins, but pays the ultimate price. The only thing that bothered me a bit was Magneto's visual characterization. It's not even about Ian McKellen's age. The man is 86 and still commands presence. The issue is the look itself. Professor Xavier is wearing combat gear, standing firm. Magneto, on the other hand, appears with a more fragile look, almost too retired. If the film's idea is to talk about retirement and the end of a cycle, that's fine. It works narratively. But I'll admit I would have liked to see Magneto imposing until the very end. Presence, posture, and a striking costume. Because even old, Magneto has always been treated as a force of nature. This speech sounds like someone who has already accepted his fate, and that only reinforces the feeling that we may be heading toward a historic farewell for the character. Did you feel that too? Let us know in the comments what your feelings were about this moment we've waited for so many years to see. Now it's time to put this puzzle together. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, because 2026 promises big things. See you next time.